You're listening to Be the Exception podcast, episode 166. If you're anything like me, as July creeps closer and closer, you're beginning to think about some things that you're going to need for the upcoming school year. So today I've compiled a list of some special educator must-haves, as well as ways that you can help get it funded by creating a wish list and even a donor's choose. So let's go ahead and jump on into today's podcast and find out all the things you need to know about getting the must-haves while also not spending money out of your own pocket.
Welcome to Be the Exception podcast. As teachers, each one of us has something that comes naturally to us that others would love to know more about. Throughout this podcast, we'll chat with amazing professionals and offer easily digestible tips that you can quickly implement in your classroom or business, helping you stand out with things you do really well. Your host, Dawn Ellis, is a qualified educational specialist with 10 years of special education experience, published journal articles, and was a state finalist for Elementary Teacher of the Year. Dawn provides tools for special education teachers to perform at their very best, helping deal with the frustrating daily obstacles of being an educator. She offers a roadmap of resources and strategies to make you a confident leader in your school and community. So if you're ready to start the conversation, learn from others, and grow together, you're in the right place. Now here's your host, Dawn Ellis.
Hey there, Dawn here. Welcome back to another episode of Be the Exception podcast. I'm so glad you are here. Now, if you're anything like me, you're already dreaming about the next school year. And while it may look a little different than some prior years, I wanted to talk about today some of the must-haves that I have found useful in my special education classroom, kind of breaking it down to some of the staple items that I need anytime throughout the school year. Also, items for setting up different types of centers or stations in my room, some of my favorite sensory faves, and how to set up some of my paperwork systems that I have going on. So we're going to break that down today. All of the things that we talk about today are going to be listed in the show notes, but also you can check out my Amazon favorites where you can get the links to these things if you want to. And as a little bonus, we're going to throw in there also how to set up a wish list on Amazon so that if there are items that you need that maybe you don't need to pay out of pocket, other people can donate to your classroom. These are big hits at the beginning of school years. So go ahead and get yours set up, and I hope this helps. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so some of my SPED staples, it doesn't matter if you are a first year teacher or a veteran teacher, self-contained, or even a resource teacher. Some of my staples are laminating pouches, Velcro, both the soft and the hard, lots of hand sanitizer, Clorox wipes, Kleenex, a staple gun, possibly even a hot glue gun, Wiki sticks, Ziploc bags, but make sure and get a variety of sizes because sometimes you need little bags, sometimes you need the huge ones for different projects or different things that happen in your room. Also, a label maker helps to help label the things that you have, both for the adults and the kids. You can also use Smarty symbols to have the picture that goes with the words as well. Cardstock and twistable crayons. So those are all some of my must-haves as far as the staples that I like to use. Now, for setting up my classroom, I like to get plastic shoe boxes. I've gotten these at the Dollar Tree, Home Depot, Walmart, but these are great for task boxes. File folders are also a great activity for students to do independently. This can be errorless activities that you can download for free, or they can be more challenging activities that have a little more multi-steps in them. Both of these things are great activities for the students to do independently or paired with an adult or student. Also, with those task boxes, having a reward system and visual schedules and reinforcers for the classroom set up, having a calm down area of a beanbag and different visuals of what to do to calm down. Also, flexible seating that can be the wobble stools or chairs that have bands on them. I have also seen some of the exercise balls that students can sit on, just a variety of things so that students can move and get some of their energy out, but also having accessible options if students are in wheelchairs to get around the room as well. Also having a craft and cooking area and having the items that correlate with those types of activities. Those are all some of the things. And in some of those centers, I like to have some basic puzzles and games. You know, they can be basic skills, ABCs, having CBC words, simple addition. You can have those stored in Ziploc bags. But those are all areas that I keep an eye out for when purchasing some of the different games. And over on my Amazon favorites, you can find that at cultivatingexceptionalminds.com/favorites. They have some of my favorite types of manipulatives and games that we use in these centers, as well as calm down items. So make sure and check that out. It will be linked in the show notes. Next up are some of the sensory items that I have. I just make sure that they are interactive and something that the students should be able to do by themselves. It could include Legos, the Magna tiles. You could even do dominoes, but also having different types of fidgets and calming blankets or weighted blankets. And that calm down space that we talked about earlier is definitely somewhere that these items can go. I also like to have a visual timer in addition to a dry erase board so that students can keep up with the amount of time that they have left in an activity, as well as a first then board to help them. If you do use technology like a device such as an iPad or a Chromebook, these are also great to have in the classroom. I know that I have funded some through Donors Choose, as well as had some that were provided with my system, but that way you would introduce one website or activity a week to where students aren't overwhelmed and they have an opportunity to learn that platform and become comfortable with it. We also have computer rules. I'll link those in the show notes as well so that students can really become independent in those things. I have an adapted mouse and an adapted keyboard that have been huge in helping the students become more independent in the classroom and with the computer and technology. So I'll check that out. Some of my favorite activities to do in the classroom with students include file folder activities, task cards, boom cards, which can be found at boomcards.com, Google Slide activities, also interactive PDFs, and visual recipes for students to complete in the classroom. There are a variety of these activities over on my Teachers Pay Teachers store that are already done for you and ready to go, so make sure and check those out. Also, many of the past guests that we've had on the show have different activities as well, perfect for your classroom to help save you time. So make sure and check those out. We'll link those in the show notes. Now, let's just talk about real quick how to make a Amazon wish list. This is a great way for people in your community or social circles to help donate some of the items that you need so you're not having to spend money out of pocket. And it's pretty simple to do. I'll have a video tutorial in the show notes as well, but we'll just kind of talk through it. All you need to do is go to your Amazon account and go to list, and then you're going to go to wish list. You're going to create a new list. You're going to click on that and make sure that you have it as public, and then you're going to create your list. You're going to put in all the items, think small, think big, all the things you may need in your classroom. List those things that you want, typing them in. And then once you have your list all created, all you need to do is go over to the right side and share it. There's a little envelope that you can click, and you can grab that link. You can add it to your different social pages and let people know. As school gets closer to starting back, there will be different organizations that will say, list your, provide your list, and certain things will be donated. You'll be surprised at the outpouring that will be available. So go ahead and get that set up sooner rather than later, so it's ready to go when people ask, hey, what do you need for your classroom? Can I help you in any way? And you can say, yep, you sure can. Here's my link. Here are things that I need. You can include book list. You can include some of the sensory items we talked about today, some of those sped staples that you're always going to need through and through, or set up a new type of system in your classroom, and those can help with that. So I hope this helps. Another wonderful option is Donors Choose. It's a crowdsourcing option. Some systems allow it and some do not. So just make sure that you are aware of your system's rules. If you can use it, I have a free download that walks you through the steps to get started with Donors Choose. Those are great for small and large projects. Like I said in this episode, I've had many projects fund from cardstock and toner all the way up to multiple classroom computers and tablets. So anyways, I hope that this episode has helped you get an idea of some of the must-haves that you need as a special education teacher, and how you can get these resources without having to spend your own money, especially at the beginning of the school year. So I hope this helps. Continue to be exceptional in all that you do, and I cannot wait to see you next week.